All right, guys, what is going on? It's Friday. It's my last work day before my week vacation that I have left this year, where we're going to go, my wife and I and the dogs are going to go take a tour through Auschwitz, which is something we have not ever seen before, neither one of us, even though my wife is German. We've never seen it. We want to see it. It's not going to be a cocktails on the beach type of vacation for sure, but interesting nonetheless. So we're going to do that, and that's why this will be the last Insanity Report until a week from Monday, because I will be gone and not trucking. So that's the deal. So this is the last one. Tomorrow comes the weekly rant and the podcast recommendations on the weekend, and then you will not hear from me again unless it's a video about Auschwitz or what we're doing out there. Maybe I'll publish something while I'm there, but no Insanity Report. This is the last one until a week from Monday. So in this Insanity Report, it's going to be about the indictment of Eric Adams. Now, we talked about Eric Adams being indicted yesterday and how he said, he came out and said he thought that it was the Biden administration coming after him for criticizing their immigration policy. Now, that sounds kind of like, there's nothing on me, they're just trying to get me. But it is likely, you know what I mean? It is likely that they're trying to do that. And it's even more likely now that we know what the charges are, because the indictment has been unsealed. And in this unsealed indictment, they basically listed the regular politician crimes, right? Bribery, fraud. Yeah, so I have the feeling that Eric Adams was probably right. I have the feeling he's probably been doing this for a long time. And the Democrats, a lot of them has also been doing the same thing or something like it. And a lot of the Republicans too. They're all compromised. And see, in the Democratic Party, they all cover each other's asses, no matter what, until somebody steps out of line. And in this case, Eric Adams stepped out of line by criticizing the Biden administration, which he did do about the immigration policy. And he's probably now on their bad side, and now they've decided to pull out the charges. See, I think, like I said, he's been doing this for a long time now. They've never done anything about it because they don't care. They only use it as a way to basically get back at people when they step out of line. You know what I mean? That's it. That's it. And I think that's the case for a lot of these politicians, right? I think that's the case for a lot of these politicians. Because I think a lot of the Republicans are also suffering from the same problem, the same corruption problem, right? And that is that essentially, look at Mike Johnson, right? Look at Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson promises all the things. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. You know, they're not going to approve FISA. They're not going to do anything until the border is fixed. And he just balks at everything. He just flips at everything. And I think the reason why they do that, why there's so many politicians that do that, is because they all know that all of them are corrupt, you know, at least a lot of them, and they're all compromised. And they know they can't step out of certain boxes. And so they promise the people to get elected that they're going to do things. And then when they're elected, they just make excuses and whine and cry about why they didn't do it. And when it really comes down to it, they really have to answer. They have to say, well, it's classified. I was taken to a classified briefing and was told things I didn't know before now. I mean, they always have some excuse, right? Always some excuse. It's complete madness, right? And that's why I think people like Mike Johnson are basically just spineless jellyfish who don't end up actually doing anything for the people that elected them. And I think that's what's going on with Eric Adams. I think he probably is corrupt. I think he probably has took a couple bribes. I'm pretty sure that he has a little bit of fraud going on, you know, but that's okay as long as you shut the fuck up and stay in line. And I guess Eric Adams knows his own party better than we do. And he's probably right. He's probably correct that, yeah, they're probably pissed off and they're coming at him because these charges are not really things that you wouldn't expect from politicians. You know what I'm saying? So I think he was right. I think he's getting charged now because he pissed off the Biden administration. Yeah, he used to be a Republican. I guess switching sides for him was not the best idea. And now he's going to learn. And he's going to learn what kind of people these really are. I wonder if he beats the charges, right? I wonder if he's going to stay a Democrat. Or if, since he knows they're coming after, since that's what he claims they're coming after him, you know, and that it's all bullshit and that he'll beat the charges. I wonder if when he does, is he going to stay a Democrat or is he going to go back to the Republican Party? You know, I mean, you've got to be pretty fucking stupid to stay a Democrat after this, if that's the case. We'll see where it goes, right? But actually, today's Insanity Report, I wanted to tell you guys another story about Germany, which is completely bonkers, right? In a small town in Bayern, which is a state in Germany, small town in Bayern, a recently released prisoner is living there. And this released prisoner is an ISIS terrorist. He was a recruiter who was trying to recruit people to do suicide bombings in Syria, right? And he's from Syria, right? And he was arrested in Germany 6 years ago. He's been in prison for 6 years. He got released just recently, right? And normally, you would think in any reasonable country, any reasonable place, that if a terrorist gets caught in your country and then goes to prison in your country, that when they are released from prison, they are expelled from the country, right? You would think so. You know, I know America's got its illegal immigration problems, guys. You know what I mean? But I'm pretty sure that if America caught terrorists and put them in prison, that they would deport them afterwards, no matter where they had to go. But, you know, the German government at the moment is woke. They're woke weaklings, and they don't like support. They don't care what the German people say. They don't care what the citizens say. They don't care what the taxpayers say. They care about not being called mean and not being seen as racists and not being seen as xenophobes. And they want everybody to accept every immigrant, illegal or otherwise, in the country whenever they see fit. They're forcing this immigration down onto the people. And so they're not going to deport this guy back to Syria because, well, Syria's dangerous. You know, that's their excuse. Syria's a dangerous place. And the guy has an arrest warrant out for him in Syria. I mean, what would they do to this man? Oh, okay. So we suddenly care more about what the Syrian government is going to do to one of their own citizens who is a terrorist, who has been classified by the local police that has released him into the town in Bayern as extremely dangerous. He still has to wear an ankle bracelet. He still has to report to the police twice. And for some reason, he can't get a job, so he's getting government money. That means his house is paid for, his utilities are paid for. He's got about $600-700 a month to spend on food. Everything is paid for, all expenses. So he's on an all-expense paid vacation. And first it was 6 years. And let me tell you, German prisons are not so bad. You know what I mean? It's pretty chill. It's pretty chill for a prison. So he was chilling in prison for 6 years. Now he's getting released. Doesn't have to work. Doesn't have to get deported back to Syria. And he's so cocky about it, right? He knows the German people don't want him there. He knows the people in that town don't want him there. He knows that he knows the deal with the immigration problems, that the people of Germany are tired of this shit and they want the politicians to start doing something about this. And they don't give a shit if he has an arrest warrant out for him in Syria. They don't give a shit if something happens to him in Syria. Only the woke politicians do. And so he's not getting deported, and us taxpayers can continue to pay for his existence while he's here. Isn't that fucking great? Right? Isn't that great? Now, the people in the town that he lives in are terrified. They shouldn't be, though, because this guy probably isn't going to do anything, okay? Because who the fuck wants to risk it? If the government's already protecting him, right? And they're saying, look, just shut up, take the free money every month, don't work, sit on your ass, report to the police twice a week, keep your ankle bracelet on, don't fuck with the people in the town, and we'll just keep paying your way all your life, buddy. That's right. Well, who's going to go against that? You know what I'm saying? Why would he do something stupid? You know what I mean? Why would he do something stupid? You know, he even offered the government 140,000. He said that if he got 140,000 euro, he would go back to Syria willingly. So he knows they actually want him gone. He knows that the people want him gone. And he knows that the people are putting pressure on the current government, so much so that they're probably not going to get elected. None of them. None of the parties in government right now are going to get elected again in next year's elections because they cannot seem to solve this immigration problem, and the people have fucking had it. And this guy knows that. And so he's trying to blackmail, he's trying to extort the government. He said to the government, listen, I know that the people want me gone, right? And I know that you're not going to do it. But if you give me 140 grand, I'll go back to Syria willingly. Well, in Syria, the guy would probably be a multimillionaire. And so what would happen if I went to one of the highest government entities and it took a bag of money with me and said, hey, listen up, I'll give you guys, right? I'll give you guys €500,000 if you deport this guy. I wonder if I'd go to jail for that. I wonder if that'd be legal. Is that bribing an official? You know? But I guess if you're brown, if you're Syrian, if you're a terrorist, I guess that's all okay then. You know, not, as a matter of fact, it's not only okay. You know, they're going to try to use it to show the German people how generous this Syrian terrorist is. They're going to be like, hey, look, he was even willing to go back on his own, right? If we paid him 140 grand of tax money, guys, that's cheaper than if we keep him on welfare for the rest of his life. Let's do it, right? That's the kind of people we have running the show here. You know, it's a fucking joke. It's a fucking joke, really. Unbelievable. So now these people in this town in Bayern are stuck with this guy, a known terrorist living in their town, a guy that tried to send people to their death by trying to make them suicide bombers. You know what I mean? And he gave an interview the other day on German TV or on a German podcast, one or the other. Somebody interviewed him and he was there talking to him. And he said, well, I don't even know, I'm not even really guilty. You know, because I did advertise for suicide bombers to go to Syria, but my advertising wasn't successful, guys. Okay. Okay. So that means if I shot at you, but I missed, that I'm not guilty for attempted murder, right? Because, like, hey, you know, you didn't get hurt. So what's the problem? The fuck you talking about? Why should I have to go back to Syria? Why should I even have to be in prison for 6 years? That's crazy. I'm innocent. It didn't actually happen. It's crazy, right? This is woke shit. You know what I mean? This is the epitome of woke shit. These people are nuts. They're lunatics. They're lunatics. So, and you know what? I really don't even care, because I hate this current government. The current parties that are in power are all woke, hyper woke, dumbass pieces of shit that have no idea what they're doing. They're going to get us all killed with this Russia-Ukraine shit if they don't get removed from power. And, you know, they don't want to solve the immigration problem, so I don't expect them to do so. And that means they're probably going to lose in the next election cycle. Now, politics here is tricky. The political rules are much, much trickery involved. And the party that I want to win, which is the AfD, the Alternative for Deutschland, they're probably not going to win. And even if they do, their other parties are going to form coalitions against them, like they're doing in 2 states where there were recent elections here in Germany. The AfD came out as top dog, but they need to have a majority in order to form a party coalition, and nobody will work with them. They all say no. So the German establishment parties are shitting on 31 or 33% of the voters in those states by saying, look, I know you guys voted for these people, but we are not going to work with them, so tough for you, tough shit, right? They're just going to refuse, and they're going to build coalitions with parties that didn't get as many votes as the AfD, which is crazy, but that's how they do. So it's not a democracy. All this shit about people telling you that it's a democracy or a representative democracy or a republic, it's all bullshit. It's all words. None of this shit actually is running like it's supposed to, and we all see it. You know what I mean? Yeah, great. More people are waking up. That's true. That's fantastic. Hopefully they start getting involved and start voting the right way so we can get out of this mess. Because like I always say, it's either we vote our way out, or the only way out is going to be mass violence, massive uprising, a massive revolution that will basically push these idiots out of power forcefully. Now, nobody's ready for that. Nobody wants to do that. Here in Germany, we have very low chances of getting it done. Nobody's armed. You know, there are barely any guns here. Having a gun is basically illegal unless you use it for hunting. You got to go through all kinds of licensing and blah, blah, blah. You know, and the kind of gun you can buy is not going to help you in a war. You know, so the German people are pretty much fucked. They've allowed themselves to be disarmed by the government. You know, just like Canada and a lot of other countries. Most other countries don't have Second Amendment rights at all. So how are we, if we don't use the political process available to us, this kind of shit is going to continue. It's going to continue in perpetuity, because these people has obviously shown everybody they don't give a shit what the people think. They only care that they get voted in, and after that, it's business as usual. And it's up to us as citizens in all these Western countries to show these politicians that that is no longer an acceptable way to do things. And the only way to do that is to get them all out of power, to start recognizing what they are doing, paying attention to what they are voting for, pay attention to what they represent, and if they're not representing your interest, it's time to vote for other people. I mean, it's just that simple. And I know people are disillusioned in the voting system and everything, I get it, but look, that's all you got. You're going to have to try it, and people are going to have to come out in massive numbers so that any cheat is beat. In America, Donald Trump should win by a massive landslide, and if he doesn't, it's the fault of all the conservative people or all the people that want Trump in office for not going out in big enough numbers to vote, for not getting involved at being at the poll places and checking them out and making sure things are going correctly, being at voting places, being at voting locations, volunteer, vote yourself, get your friends to vote, etc., etc. You know what I mean? That's basically the deal. That's how we do it. Otherwise, before we know it, especially here in Europe, before we know it, we're going to be living in an Islamic state, because these Islamists, these terrorists, they are not getting deported. They're getting the kid gloves, soft treatment that, adolescent criminals would get, for minor crimes, right? And these people are killing people and planning suicide bombings and all kinds of crazy shit in our countries, and we're just letting them in even more. We've let even more in. The people in Germany have spoken, and they have said, we actually want a complete immigration stop from Muslim countries for at least a time until we get the shit sorted out here. No, the government just refuses. No, you're gonna have to live with it. We're gonna get more and more Islamists into the country. Most of them are gonna be illegal, and you guys are gonna have to deal with it. Well, if that's the tactic, then the public will deal with it one way or another. Either these people are gonna lose power, or the public will eventually be like in England and just understand that they're going to have to protect themselves violently from these Islamists and these people and their government. So it's crunch time, people. Really, it is crunch time. I get it. People don't want to be in this situation. I understand. I don't either, right? But we're in it. So now it's time to act. Now it's time to pay attention. Now it's time to get involved. Time to get informed. Stop voting for people based on if their hair is nice, or if they're black, or if they're Kamala Harris because she's a woman, or maybe it'll be a trans person and then you gotta vote for the trans person because otherwise you're not morally virtuous enough, even though the trans person steals luggage at a fucking airport. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you people are crazy, right? Start using your fucking brains when you're voting, right? That's the thing to do. Start using your fucking brains. This shit is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Now we've got Syrian terrorists living in cities here in Germany that we can't ever get rid of them anymore because of the politicians. Their excuses don't matter. Their excuses are bullshit. It's because of them. They don't want to do it. Guys, come on. I mean, wow, right? Fucking amazing. So I'll be paying my taxes to terrorists here in Germany as long as these people are in power. And I hope that the rest of you German people watching this understand that, and I hope you are enjoying paying your tax money to everything else except for the bridges here in Germany, which are falling apart, for example. No, Zelensky needs money. Israel needs money. The Taliban needs money. The illegal immigrants in this country need money. So fuck you, shut up, and start paying. That's the attitude. Guys, if you want to get my stuff automatically in your inbox when it comes out, whether it's an article I write, it's the Insanity Report, the weekly rant, podcast recommendations, all my content will be delivered to you directly in your inbox, in your email inbox. If you subscribe to my Substack, down below are the links. You can do it for free. You can do it for $5 a month. Either one is great for me. I love all the subscribers and all the support I get. So I recommend you do that. It's the easiest way because it's all centralized. In one place, you'll get all the content delivered right to your inbox instead of having to wait till you find it on social media or wait for some notification that may not come because I'm being shadow banned or whatever. If you're watching this on YouTube or on Rumble or on X or on TikTok, then follow me there by all means, but please do come to the Substack and subscribe there. It's all about logic.substack.com. The name is It's All About Logic, all one word, .substack.com. I suggest you join me there. That's the easiest for me. It's the easiest for you. And hey, guys, hopefully you have a great weekend. We will see you guys a week from Monday. Have a good one.